Welcome back in this segment of our show brought to you by Madisonville Marine. I'm always telling you about their selection of boats and their great prices. But customer service is the number one reason that people keep coming back to Madisonville Marine. They've been the number one boat dealer in East Tennessee for years and years and years. Repeat business to Madisonville. That's people driving from Chattanooga, from Knoxville, from Middle Tennessee. To make that drive, they have to like the customer service, and it's repeat business. Madisonville Marine. Find out for yourself. All right, I want to welcome in two new members, or regular members, how to say it, two new panelists for the day. Former Vol Will Overstreet, former Vol Daniel Hood. Good to get the defensive side of things out here, because I'm going to ask you guys if the defense was to blame or not. I'm going to get you a little true or false. The way I saw this thing happening, defense blew the lead, a lot of people mad. I thought the offensive line kind of turned back into a pumpkin last night when Oklahoma pinned their ears back. Dobbs was inconsistent throwing the ball. Your wide receivers could not get open, and when they did catch the ball, couldn't make anything happen afterwards. They kept throwing the defense back on the field. They were gassed, and when you're gassed and you're thrown out there again and again, eventually you're going to break. I thought the offense deserves a lot more blame than the defense last night. True or false? Do you think I'm right or wrong?
I do think you're right. I think it's in this kind of game, when you get 2 turnovers especially, and you only get 3 points, I think is what they got out of that. That really hurts you. I mean, your defense is playing a lot of momentum. They're pitching a shutout. They're doing everything they can. Once you get to a certain place where your defense is out there again, it's all on their shoulders, and they don't think you can get any more points, it starts becoming a problem. And so I think this group just ran out of steam because they've been out there for a long time. And I think in that case, you have to say the offense has got to do some things to keep the ball and get the momentum back. And it kind of went down to that place where if you put that defense out there long enough, the other team's going to figure out and get the ability to score some points.
Daniel, your thoughts? You're tough on your own guys. What do you think?
I am tough, but I'm not going to give the offense more of the blame, because I think it was just a total collapse really from coaching staff on down to the defense to everyone else. And it goes back to, special teams. We had a chance to win the game, we blew it. Offense, our play calling towards the end where, we got 3rd and 15 and we're running, comeback routes at 8 yards. It just doesn't make sense. And defense, put it on the defensive line. We left 6 sacks, 7 sacks out on the field where we just couldn't get Mayfield down.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, that's the defense. You got to make the play right then.
Mayfield's performance was reminiscent of Dobbs versus South Carolina last year. They're not the same style player, but right. So-so or bad for 3 quarters, and then boom, you can't tackle the guy in the 4th quarter. Will, I thought a lot of those missed tackles, though, late, that looks like a product of being gassed, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. It's once you get into those series where they last 15 plays, 16 plays, especially at the end, you're going to see a lot more missed tackles that are going on. So I think in that situation, I do agree that you see the defense, they've got to come up and make some plays at times. But when you're putting them out there that long, with that much time, it's going to get worse as the game goes on.
Before we get to it, I did mention the offensive line. We asked last week, are we ready to buy in yet? I think most people said, I think all of us, maybe all of us, most of us said, let's give it another week. And yesterday you had Dobbs sacked 3 times. He was on the run more than that. You had, by my count on the ESPN play chart, 18 rushes for 2 yards or less, and that looked a whole lot like last year. A lot of those twists and stunts that hurt Tennessee last year, same thing hurt them this year. So, yeah. All right, Jimmy and Jacob, I want to ask you guys, take the hurt out of it, okay? Take the disappointment out of it. Is Tennessee making progress, or are they spinning their wheels right now as a program?
Making progress. Last year they didn't compete that well with Oklahoma. This year they had a 17-0 lead. Should have won the football game. So I do think they're getting better, and I don't think there'll be a game this year with the possibility of one where they won't have a chance to win in the 4th quarter. You couldn't say that last year. So I think they're getting better. They still have to figure out how to close the deal. They still have to figure out how to win a close game. This game reminded me so much of Florida last year, and I do put it on the offense. The offense in the second half had the ball in the 44, the 41, the plus 29. They got 0. They went 9 straight possessions without scoring. I think the offense was to blame.
Jacob, you're the most recent man in the program. Progress or spinning their wheels?
I definitely think it's progress. Just from last year being on the team, there's a lot of games we had where we have to learn how to win. And I know that's something Coach Jones says a lot. But learning how to win is something young teams and teams with the prior coaching staffs that we've had, it's something you got to relearn how to do. And I think that's something that we really got to work on, is learning how to close games out, learning how to stick the dagger in the back and finish them off.
I agree with you guys that they are making progress. I think you look at the talent levels going up. There's some areas still, linebacker, where you wonder where the talent is, wide receiver. But I understand people who feel like they're spinning their wheels. Let me show you some numbers here that are just awful. You've probably seen the first two by now. Tennessee's lost 28 of its last 29 games versus ranked foes. Tennessee's lost 32 out of its last 34 games versus ranked foes going back to 2008. And I looked this one up last night. Tennessee has lost 18 of 22 games versus ranked foes at Neyland Stadium since 2002. We're going back nearly 15 years now. 4-18 versus ranked teams at home. So maybe Bob Stoops knew what he was talking about when he was saying, why are we scared of Neyland? Come on. All right, when we come back, which players, coaches, or refs deserve fame, deserve blame for yesterday's game? Come on back.
From East Tennessee to the Carolinas, no job is too big for Benedict Construction. Patios and decks, custom remodels, even custom homes. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.